Hello everyone. Welcome to the Digitech Dialogue. I am Arpit Gupta. The Digitech Dialogue series is an initiative of ED Government, The Economic Times. This is an interactive show with bureaucrats on different milestones in their digital transformation journey. In this series, senior government officials give an insight of digital innovations and use of new technologies by their department or ministry. Today, on behalf of ET Government, The Economic Times, I welcome Mr. Abhishek Kumar, Director IT, National Health Authority, Government of India, as our esteemed guest for the Digitech Dialogue. It is indeed a great pleasure to meet you and have you on today's show, Mr. Abhishek Kumar.
Thank you.
An IRS officer of 2006 batch, Mr. Abhishek Kumar, has been posted at the National Digital Health Mission, National Health Authority as Director IT. The National Digital Health Mission aims to develop the backbone necessary to support the integrated digital health infrastructure of the country. It will bridge the existing gap amongst different stakeholders of the healthcare ecosystem through digital highways. I once again welcome you, Mr. Kumar.
Thank you.
Mr. Kumar, NDHM shall create a seamless online platform through the provision of a wide range of data, information, and infrastructure services, duly leveraging open, interoperable, standards-based digital systems while ensuring the security, confidentiality, and the privacy of health-related personal information. Let me begin the discussion by asking you the first question. Digital healthcare is the future of the health sector, and technology is going to revolutionize the healthcare. What do you think in the context of national digital health ecosystem?
Yeah, so you rightly stated that digital technology is going to be future for any sector, including a healthcare sector. And especially for healthcare sector, we need to understand that after the unfortunate incident of COVID, everybody is realizing the importance of digital technology more and more. Reason is now nobody wants to visit any healthcare facility physically for the fear of infection. And in such cases, how to make sure that people get health services without risking themselves. In this context, role of digital technology have become very important. So National Digital Health Mission is a major initiative which is going to facilitate availing of various health services in the digital way. So obviously, digital technologies are way ahead, and National Digital Health Mission is going to facilitate this process. If I can tell you briefly, there are two basic aspects of National Digital Health Mission which will facilitate availing of health services in digital mode. First is creation of registries or common set of identifiers through various stakeholders in the healthcare ecosystem can be identified uniformly across digital ecosystem. As we know, in day-to-day life, we identify people through their name, through face, and so many other attributes. But in digital system, we need their uniquely defined identifiers, digital identifiers. Only then various digital systems can communicate to one another. And next is adoption of common set of standards so that various digital systems know what they are communicating. So through these two basic interventions, introduction of basic set of identifiers, common set of identifiers, and secondly, common health data standards, NDHM is going to create an interoperable digital health ecosystem, which will facilitate availing of various kinds of health services in digital mode.
If I would say technology can prove to be a boon for the government's functioning, considering the rapid shift to digital platforms, I would like to understand your take. How can technology be leveraged to transform workplaces and facilitate efficient service delivery?
Technology can obviously play a major role in functioning of each and every segment, including government sector. And it is not a new thing for any sector. In government sector, technology is being used continuously. Technology is being upgraded. So in recent times, there has been major changes in the way technology is being used to improve working of various divisions, various departments. One common use of technology is that we use information technology to automate our business processes, right? So that is quite a common use. Like suppose somebody has to file an income tax return. In earlier days, people had to visit income tax office to file income tax return. For last so many years, it can be done in digital way, and people can file income tax return through e-filing portal. So this is one very simple example how technology can be leveraged for delivery of various services and for improving culture of or efficiency of workplaces. Another important aspect which we are witnessing in recent times after an onslaught of COVID is that we are more and more proactively using digital tools so that physical contact is avoided. Like I assume if this interview would have been taken 3 years back, maybe we would have been sitting in a studio, right? So in the same way, in offices these days, all these networking tools, meeting tools, video conferencing tools, they are very actively being used. Apart from that, various tools like cloud technology, they are being used more frequently, and so that people do not unnecessarily risk themselves, and this also leads to greater efficiency in the function.
Right, sir. Here comes the role of private sector also. So if I would like to also ask you here, how is the private sector bridging the technology gap and aiding the public sector, especially the governments, in capacity building and building huge IT infrastructure?
So I will say this is the era of expertise, right? And any work is best done if we utilize resources or experts of any field in the best possible manner. So let us say some digital technology platform is to be used. So we need to engage the people who are experts of those fields, who are capable of providing infrastructure and required services as desired. Only then desired outcomes can be achieved, right? So that way, government already leverages the expertise and talent of private sector. See, as sitting in government, we basically know our business requirements or the requirements which need to be fulfilled, the services which need to be delivered. Now, the next question comes, how to deliver those services, and their role of technology and various digital tools come into picture. Now, as government entity, we are not supposed to do everything on our own. Primary objective is that we have to deliver services, and for that purpose, if any agency is to be engaged, be it government agency or private agency, we engage those agencies, and naturally expertise of private sector of India in technology or digital tools, that comes handy in such initiatives.
Sir, National Health Authority is also responsible for implementing India's flagship public health insurance scheme called Ayushman Bharat Yojana. How is NHA leveraging technology to make it ubiquitous and easy from a citizen point of view?
Yeah, so Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, this scheme is being implemented through a digital system in which end-to-end delivery of services is being done through a technological platform. And all the key elements of this scheme, like identification of beneficiary, impanelment of hospitals, availing treatment as well as clearance of bills, everything is done through a digital system. So we are leveraging technology very effectively for Ayushman Bharat scheme. And I will say it is end-to-end digitally enabled system. And it is only because of use of digital tools that we have been able to deliver and implement this scheme so successfully.
Thank you, sir. Sir, how can technology help achieve universal health coverage?
Yeah, so this question is quite exploratory. And see, whenever we talk about universal coverage, it is a massive task, because universal means we have to cover each and every individual. So delivery of any service which has to cover entire population of India, it is a mega task. And purely from service delivery perspective, I am not talking about policy here. Let us say some policy decision has been taken, and now we have to implement it for entire population of India. It is a very major mega ask, and without use of technology, it is I will say almost impossible kind to deliver it very effectively. So when we talk about any scheme for entire India, what are the various key elements for implementation? First is that we should be able to identify each and every individual. And when I say identification, means there has to be some means, through some ID card, through some registration, through some database by which we identify individuals. Second is, whatever key scheme elements are there, that means what is the person eligible for, what are the services the person is eligible for. So everything can be quickly implemented, effectively implemented, if we deploy digital tools for delivery of such services. So let us take example of Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. If we talk about universal health coverage, that can be taken as kind of expansion of a scope of Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Using technology, we are already successfully implementing this scheme. And it is only through the use of technology that universal health coverage kind of a scheme can be implemented. So it is only about few fundamental things: identification of individuals, listing of services on the digital platform, and then making sure that the individuals are aware of the scheme and they get end-to-end services through the digital platform. So just to make things clear, it is not just about technology. Obviously, there are other things involved, like outreach efforts, how to make people aware, and there are so many other administrative and financial aspects. But definitely, when it comes to end-to-end service delivery, without the use of technology, without the use of digital platform, without making things available to the people on the click of mouse on their mobile system, any such mega scheme can't be successfully implemented.
Sir, huge amount of data is being generated in bigger schemes like Ayushman Bharat Yojana. So where do you see role of data analytics in the better management of healthcare sector? How this technology can be leveraged?
Yeah, so it is a very fundamental question, and it goes without saying that wherever substantial amount of data is there, data analytics can play a very meaningful role, and we are already doing it in Ayushman Bharat scheme. See, data analytics can be leveraged for various purposes. Like, we can see what is the time period during which hospitals are getting impaneled, how many people are actually taking benefit of Ayushman Bharat scheme, right? Are there any cases where people are facing difficulty in end-to-end clearance of bills? That means such difficulties, are there any such difficulties being faced by hospitals? So this is one of the primary objective which can be achieved through data analytics. That means we can get key identifiers or key indicators which give us idea whether the services are being delivered effectively or not, whether various stakeholders in the scheme like individuals or citizens and hospitals or any other agencies involved, whether they are facing any kind of challenges in service delivery or business processes. So that gives pointers to management to take necessary steps for correction. Not only that, data analytics can be leveraged in many ways. We get many insights about nuances of implementation, about treatments, about various kinds of medical services being availed at various facilities, what is their geographical distribution, what is their regional distribution, what is their age distribution, what is the gender distribution. So data analytics can not only help in successful implementation of the scheme, it gives many important inputs from policy and research perspective. So that way data analytics is very fundamental, and obviously we are using it for improving the scheme as well as for generating many meaningful insights.
Right, sir. Let me again ask one question with regards to NDHM. Sir, NDHM aims to ensure that the healthcare institutions and professionals in the private sector participate actively with public health authorities in building the healthcare infrastructure. So how has been your experience so far getting them combined for prescription and promotion purposes?
Okay, so can you please repeat your question? Are you saying how many people are actually using this mission for getting actual treatment? That is your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see, as on date, National Digital Health Mission project has been launched only in 6 union territories, right? And currently pilot mode is going on. We are monitoring ground level implementation, and there are many positive developments which we can clearly see through data as well as through our interactions with the UT administrations and through our consultants which are working there. So basically, National Digital Health Mission changes patient experience or patient's journey at the hospital. In a state of making everything physical, the end-to-end experience of a person or a citizen at hospital can be captured and processed through a mobile. That means somebody visits hospital by his or her choice, registers at the hospital using health ID, and after that the health record becomes available to individual on the mobile screen, right? So already there are so many hospitals in union territories which are linked to this thing, which are linked to NDHM, and they are people are able to see their record on their mobile system once the treatment is complete. So the scheme is taking off, and any such new scheme takes a little bit of time to get fully settled. So we are taking our maximum efforts to improve user experience or patient experience, and we have started seeing some impact on the ground.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I would also like to understand the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on the overall functioning of NHA, how it has been impacted.
I will say COVID has definitely impacted each and every organization, and NHA is no different. But we have been able to better manage this COVID crisis because NHA is handling 2 major projects as on date: Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana and National Digital Health Mission. And both these projects are primarily implemented through digital platforms. our systems are already cloud-based. So that way, we have been able to better manage it. Our systems are cloud-based. So various people engaged in working, they can work from home without disturbing the work. The use of video conferencing tools and digital modes, that has already been part of intrinsic work culture of NHA. So I will say we do have been impacted, but we have been able to effectively manage our work because of our very extensive use of digital tools and technologies. Apart from that, the more important part is impact upon the various schemes being implemented by us. Because see, whatever schemes we are implementing, ultimately it is for the benefit of public, for common cause. And if the public is impacted, there is bound to be some impact on the implementation. But still, we have been able to manage all these aspects. And COVID crisis, I will say it has definitely impacted us, but we have been able to manage our work despite this COVID crisis.
Yes, sir, and hope this crisis goes away very soon. Sir, what are your priorities for the current fiscal?
So priorities, I will say National Digital Health Mission has already completed a few months of functioning. So obviously it is immediate priority is to make this project successful and taking it at bigger scale. As we know, National Digital Health Mission is based upon the vision detailed out in National Digital Health Blueprint. And we are quite committed as well as enthusiastic about realizing complete vision of National Digital Health Blueprint. So when we talk about this complete vision of National Digital Health Blueprint, there are so many things which need to be done, which need to be completed. Like the aim of this mission, as you stated in the beginning, is to create an interoperable national digital health ecosystem. So it is not a small task. And currently we are doing it just in 6 union territories with a given set of services. Going ahead, we have to implement complete set of features, complete set of services, complete set of functionalities and building blocks so that this digital health ecosystem is fully transformed and we are able to truly create an interoperable digital health ecosystem. So probably these terms may appear like a little bit of jargons, but in simple terms, it simply means that just like internet, that means internet is a free flowing information system and different computers, different digital systems can connect to internet and they talk to each other. So it is the same thing, and the patient won't be so much concerned about which hospital, which doctor, where to visit, how to find the services. Once the project is fully implemented, the complete bucket of services should be available to the person on a mobile screen. So it is easier said than done, but we are committed to realize the vision of National Digital Health Blueprint, and that is our priority.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Abhishek Kumar. It was really a great discussion with you. Our sincere thanks to you for accepting our invitation and making today's show wonderful. We wish you all the best for your future endeavors. For the audience, the Digitech Dialogue series is an initiative of ET Government, the Economic Times. This is an interactive show with bureaucrats on different milestones in their digital transformation journey. In this series, senior government officials give an insight of digital innovations and use of new technologies by their department or the ministry. Each week, we present a new guest and discuss the digital transformation journey and a future roadmap for digital India. Thank you so much.
Thank you.